have you guys ever been on a cruise before?
I've been on a cruise before.
Kevin, have you been on a cruise?
I have not.
Okay, so we just missed a big Hallmark cruise.
Yeah.
And some of our fellow podcasters went on it. And my question is, did they pay to go or did someone pay for them to go? Because I'll go on a cruise if someone pays for me to go.
They paid. There's no way. I think everybody paid.
You think so?
Yeah. One way or another, if you go on a cruise, I think you pay.
I think you do.
I think it depends on what the cruise was. If it was like a Comic-Con type situation, but with them as guests, then they paid to just do it. But then there are often people that, like, when theme parks have opening days or whatever, they pay influencers to be there to report on them. You know
that's what I Girls Gone Hallmark.
Could be a combination.
I need to know, did you pay to go or did they pay you to go? And how can we get 3 tickets to paradise?
I've got 2 tickets to paradise. It's been a long, exhausting day. Your troubles just won't go away. One thing that gets you through these is watching cheesy holiday movies. You think that you're above them, but you know that you love them. So get ready to listen. Now here comes Kevin and Kristin. Oh yeah.
Wow, that song wasn't even planned. But hi, everyone. I'm one of the hosts, Chris.
I'm one of the hosts, Kev.
I'm another host, Mike.
We're here for week 4.
Week 2 for me. Week 2 for me.
Week 2 for Mike.
Deep,
for Mike.
Deep into November.
Yeah.
Deep into the heart of November. Kevin, what was the first film we got to watch?
We got to watch on Friday, November 8th at 8 p.m. Trivia at St. Nick's.
Welcome to the trivia tournament.
The plan is to study trivia.
I think it's time for a change of tactic.
He's a very effective motivator.
Trivia at St. Nick's on Hallmark Channel.
Directed by Marlo Hunter, written by Christine Garver and Stephanie Jackson, and starring Tammin Sursok, I believe, and Brant Daughtry.
Oh, cool.
Here's a question. Does Brant Daughtry have a country music career too? Or am I messing him up with someone else?
I think just Daughtry.
There's Chris Daughtry. Daughtry.
Oh, man.
Different
person. Daughtry, yes.
I don't know. I was like, wait, Brant Daughtry?
Yeah.
Does he sing? But I guess not.
But he does offensive coach football.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. The thing that I enjoyed about this, go Birds. Okay, first of all, go.
Sorry, Mike.
Sorry. Yeah, it was nice that the day ended early for me in Munich, Germany.
So my question is, this was a college that he taught at, or was it a private high school?
Well, he didn't teach, he coached, but yeah.
Well, that's still teaching the youth of...
Ooh, fair point. And it was college, yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. So, and the thing that this rivalry of like football versus smart people was like, calm down.
Space rocks for jocks. Space rocks
for jocks. I thought was funny.
That was funny.
Yeah, that part annoyed me because, especially this season on Hallmark, because we know the push for football this season, and we've seen it in their ads as well. So it felt weird to kind of be like, let's do the thing where she doesn't like jocks, and it's like, okay, that's.
And the thing that's that I'll bring up later in H3O is this guy was never a jerk.
No.
And I love when they do that. This chick, I wanted to punch in the box so badly.
Can I say something though? Because I think you said that in text or something like, Kevin, you were like, "Oh, I'm having a tough time with this female lead." was that I picture people that are exactly like that. Like there are people like that on trivia teams that have that intensity and will get mad at their friends and things like that. So I thought it was kind of realistic.
I didn't mind that. I didn't mind her intensity for the trivia. Like that's her thing. I'm fine with that. It was how horribly mean she was, and very early on, it's like, so this is the person that we're gonna like, quote unquote, fall in love with.
Yeah.
Or the way they did it, quote unquote, Friends is the best show ever. Why aren't your
Why didn't he? I don't know the other character's name, but let's just call him Mr. Mystery.
It was Gary.
Mr. History.
I'm so glad you guys noticed this too. Like, was he doing his Reagan impersonation? Like, it was. I loved him.
He was really good. And the mom, I thought they were cute. They were cute.
I like when there's a bit of an ensemble cast like this.
Yeah.
And
I think you would have been a very good friend, Kristin. I know you're always looking for your parts and things. You know,
Thank you.
Look, you're even doing the. I think she did a lot of those gestures.
I'm a friend. No, and the oh boy. Here's the fun thing. We had here's a trope. Her dad died, and it's been 3 years. So somewhere there's a written Hallmark rule that it's okay to date 3 years after someone died.
We had kind of pinpoint too. And this must have, you and I, like we kind of came out with the 2 year, but yeah, this was 3, but it was her dad. So it's like,
because the mom's little side hustle loves.
Oh, for her to date, you're right. Yeah. I was gonna say, because for her, it's like you're welcome to date whenever.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Grieve and date.
She was in love with the Jeopardy two-time Jeopardy champion guy who was the biggest dud.
Yeah.
And like, she does not have a type. I will 100% give her
no. Well, here's the thing. I was really glad that guy was in it for as much as he was. Because if he was in it more, I was going to be real mad if for some reason, if he came back,
I thought
that would have been the like, but he can't be on you should be on the who should leave the team. Yeah. And then the football guy would be like, I guess it's me.
That would have been a better thing. That would have been a better thing than like the kind of like, oh, we got a flat tire and I'm mad at you for not making trivia was the lamest kind of stakes.
Ridiculous.
I didn't.
That was
like that.
Because it was like, because that made me hate her even more.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
But I will say, when he's driving, Mike, can you switch Kristin and I just for a quick second so we're not England, just so we can role play this out. Oh. So he's driving, Chris, and then he starts talking to her, and it's, I realize I'm over here. And, so reindeer. You can put us back.
Okay, that was just for.
No,
it.
But he was not looking at the road. He was bound to hit a reindeer.
We already read up on the reindeer. I didn't like the tropes within the trivia too.
Yeah,
I know.
Like they skipped so many rounds, so then every time they asked a question, it was super important. It became a very it was always a cheesy thing. It was always like, oh, you read the book about the reindeer. You've course. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And
I didn't like it.
Do we think that it needed that like TA rivalry? I don't think so. They wanted to win.
Yeah.
I liked that girl though. She was trying to be Aubrey Plaza when I kind of want her to be more herself because I bet she's hilarious.
I said the same thing. Yeah.
But I was like, oh, she's trying too hard to be Aubrey Plaza. But she was great. I really
only liked 4 teams. There was only 4 teams, and
I know
bigger. I don't know.
For like this huge event, like.
Mike, I have to assume you've run a quiz though because of all your hosting throughout.
I mean, I still do one like regularly, like monthly regularly, but I used to do it every week.
So I mean, again, this is for the movie, but like, is there like a minimum requirement of number of players that must be there?
We usually say you can't have more than 6 players to a team because it's like unfair. You could get all the answers with just more people. You know what I mean? You generally don't require 6. The only way Adrian even said that because she's been to our trivias before. The only way I justified it was that like, because this was so serious, they wanted to make sure each team felt even and had 6 total people.
That makes sense.
You know, and one team couldn't complain like, well, we only had 4 or 5.
For all 4 teams.
It's weird that they gave them such a hard time though for like not that one night. They're like, they let us play. I'm like, no, they should have let you play.
It's fine.
Yeah. It's not like a sport where you need the amount of people on the field. You know?
I did think the little insider baseball. No, I'm doing the wrong term. Little meta with the Hallmark question round.
Yeah. I liked it. I didn't mind.
I don't know.
Funny.
I didn't mind any of the questions, but I did hate the feel that at times, even though they were trying to do like the quick edit, it didn't feel like that. It felt like some of these rounds are one question long, and it's like, I think
that's the hard part of when they do these movies, when there's like a journey of sorts, or there's like there's multiple steps to something, because then they have to rush through those.
Yeah.
Because the funniest thing that I wrote down was how long it took them, like the gingerbread making montage of like, baking is not that much fun with that many people.
Yeah.
The fact that when they were cracking the eggs over the bowl and then
God.
I was like, oh
yeah,
my God.
But I like that came back into play. That it was like that, like they made fun of recipe, and it's like, well, it was her recipe. Like, but it wasn't. It was.
I agree. I think that's what it like. And I think that's what it needed more. Either needed less of the trivia, right? So just make it like quick montages. Like they're playing trivia, but here's the real storyline. Or have it so tied in that every single thing they're doing like leads back to trivia, and that's like the joke or whatever. Or the magic of it, Santa at a point.
There was a moment I thought, and I think I did it with the Irish one too, which we'll talk about. But there was a moment I was like, they gave us this nugget of information that was unnecessary and is just going to float off into space because it's space. And it was the telescope. And then at the very end of the movie,
God,
the dean goes, by the way, good win on this quiz. By the way, you're getting a new telescope. And I was like,
it was because of the football team. So they got more grant money. I was like,
and then he's just been sitting on that telescope request for the last
ridiculous.
Yeah. All right.
I didn't love this one. I'll never do it again.
Yeah, no.
It could have been so much better. It was fine. It's not a skip. I think this.
No, it's not a skip. Watch it.
Yeah,
I like the ensemble. I actually thought the lead actor, and we'll objectify him more later. Was trying.
Who's trying? Who's trying?
Yeah,
trying so hard.
He was trying so hard.
He was trying.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Speaking of trying, try and find your soulmate on Saturday, November 9th at 8 p.m. We had Santa Tell Me.
What if, instead of giving a holiday makeover to some stranger's house, you revisit your own childhood home?
Oh, wow. The name of your true love is Nick.
Read rom-com where they meet cutes, all with guys named Nick.
Erin Krakow and Daniel Lissing, a holiday tale about finding true love.
Nick!
Yes! In the nick of time.
You have a little snow in your hair.
Santa Tell Me on Hallmark Channel.
Directed by Ryan Landells and also written by Ryan Landells, starring Erin Krakow. And I gotta say, we have always pronounced her name wrong.
Krakow.
No, it's Krakow.
I know, but I like Krakow because that's how you say Brian Krakow on My So-Called Life.
I know that we've always said that, but I thought that was the pronunciation. So I apologize. So it is Krakow.
Yeah.
Daniel Lissing, our friend of the show, Benjamin Ayers.
Yeah.
Christopher Russell and Kurt. I'm not going to be able to say your name right, but let's say Zarka.
Zarka.
Okay.
Zarka.
Yeah. One of those.
I don't know.
Santa Tell Me. I could not remember that title for the life of me.
Me
There are movies throughout the season, I feel like that just had their titles come out of nowhere. And this was the first one for me where I was like,
yeah,
they just pulled it out of a hat and slapped it on the movie.
Yeah. This could have just been like the Knicks.
Yeah. I think the Knicks would have been better.
Yeah.
But because they already had trivia at St. Nick's, they were like, we got to Knicks.
Too much. Too much.
Yeah.
But here's one of Kristin's favorite tropes.
Yeah.
Santa magic. We got some Santa magic.
So much Santa magic.
I'm a fan.
I love it.
If you're going to have a Santa magic, creepy Santa ornament, key. Also, creepy Santa. Ooh, yeah.
It was a little skinny.
That's the second skinny Santa this season that they've thrown in these movies. And they're like almost kind of hot.
Yeah, what is it? Ozempic?
Yeah.
Ozempic is representing all of the Hallmark.
Santa's all Ozempic.
Yeah, so they're all thin Santas.
That's ridiculous. I will say, as a female that has gotten into many a ride shares, she did not check the license plate. She didn't check if the picture. I don't get in someone's car unless I check the license plate. Yeah. They can say my name and their picture matches them and their car matches the description. Because some guy and I got into like this huge fight because I wouldn't get in. Because I was like, that's not the car that it says on here. And also, you look nothing like this. And he was like, well, I got a new car and I shaved my beard. I was like, I don't care, dude. I don't want to die today.
No, Kristin, that sounded like an awesome meet cute. And I wish you got in the car. It would have been a rom-com.
Speaking of meet cutes, 4. Wow, but the one was
3. 4 was if the ride share kidnapping was 1.
That's 1. Yeah.
All right, then there's 4.
So yeah, I think it's fun that this Santa magic, like it wasn't just her in on it. I'm glad her sister was in on it.
So it was legitimate magic happening.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. I hate when it's only one person knows and then they're like, this isn't real.
Yeah.
But her sister was like, no, this is straight up happening. We have to follow Santa.
Her sister was the best character of the entire weekend.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
And then we find out later, gay. And I was like, yay. When that hot like lady came to the house and she's like, hi. Hi. I was like, yay. So cute. First of all, friend of the show, Benjamin Ayers, played Nick A. And I texted it him because I was like, did you guys see the part where he's like, here, I'm just going to put this on my phone number on here in case you want to share something sweet.
Yeah.
He had some of the smoothest lines in this whole movie.
It was like smooth. Yeah. Well, they all had their like distinct personalities that she liked and then found out she didn't like.
Yeah.
But he was the cool one. He was the cool one. He lasted the longest.
She did.
Yeah.
Not our friend Benjamin, but the character Nick A. talked about nothing but himself.
No, I think that was the point.
That was the point.
I guess, but like they kind of make Nick see that. Like she even says, I think he's in love with himself. And it's like, yeah, but Nick A is also.
Oh yeah, because he was the one that was saying, I did all the bodybuilding. Yeah.
I think they all sort of were a little into themselves because even we know how Kristin feels about that actor because I can't get him out of my head from being like, in the one
Christopher Russell. I have grown.
I love him so much.
Perfect in a movie like this too. Yeah.
In this, I was like, perfect. This guy makes furniture, and that's the extent of it.
He's always a carpenter.
Here's your horse.
Oh, then he gets hit in the back of the head with the snowball.
Awesome.
Great comic right there.
Oh my god.
I thought this premise was cute and hasn't always been done where it can be multiple. Like it's funny that she's like, oh, I'm gonna try all 3 of them out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try all 3 of these Christmas scenarios out.
Yeah.
Was really funny. I don't know if it ultimately paid off. I think it dragged on a little too long, and we were like, of course she's gonna get not with any of the Nicks, but Chris, whose name is effing Nick.
As soon as they realized his last name began with a D, though, I was like, that guy's using his middle name, not his first name.
Yeah. Reminds me of the end of Dark Knight Rises when they shoehorned in. He's like, no, I'm not Joe, whatever. I'm Robin.
I'm Robin.
Oh God.
Okay.
I like the part where Erin Krakow says, "Wait, your mom's name is Martha too." It was very Batman.
Martha.
Oh my God.
But I thought it was cute. I thought it was a good, cool news.
Yeah, I did. I liked it, and I liked. I always love a home makeover show, so the fact that was the back of this,
and then it turned into his the top model or whatever.
Yeah.
With them all fighting in the background. Although I feel she's professional enough to have kept going and not been run off camera and go.
Oh my God, yeah.
But I think it was funny because the producer lady came out. She's like, keep rolling.
Yeah.
And then she was like,
I loved it.
And then she was like, oh, well, the producers loved it, but blah, blah. I don't, it was just so silly that they would blame that on her. It wasn't her fault.
No. If anything, it's whatever security you have on set.
Who let these three ding-dongs on the set?
Chris, if that's how Hallmark has its security on sets, we can go next.
We can go
and visit every set.
We're probably a little easier to get in than we think.
I just saw a Cracker Barrel ad that I could go to Cracker Barrel and win a walk-on role on a Hallmark movie.
All right.
By the way, that's what I'm excited for. Did you see the previews for the pick the new Hallmark Hunk guy?
It's great.
That's gonna be good.
It's great.
Yep.
They say they send them home with their stocking. Like when it's time to leave, they're like, time to hang, grab your stocking and go. I'm like, but it's Jonathan Bennett is freaking fantastic.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
I loved this one because I think I do really like Erin Krakow. How are we saying this?
Yeah, Krakow. You're right.
Krakow. I love her. And the joyful thing of more of these actresses are having these, because the Sweet Bob is like a hot cut right now, is I don't have to look at those stupid curls that aren't combed out.
Yeah.
So
I like, she's been excellent. Which one was she? Tyler Hines. Was that the Valentine's one? Do you remember?
It was Always You.
It was Always You. Yes. I like that.
Yeah.
They're getting away from the serious, and it's the very Ashley Williams.
Yeah. Joyful women. Yeah.
Funny, be goofy. It's I just think it makes it a much more modern rom-com. So,
oh my God, yeah.
I do. If you went on a date with 3 different people, would you take them to the same restaurant?
Small town. That Mater D.
I think she was into it. Yeah, that was her thing.
Mater D was totally in on it.
The third one, the Mater D is like, well, all right. There's
been a lot of good side actors this weekend who saved parts of movies for me because I was like, oh, they're acting well. They're having fun.
Yeah.
Again, though, some creepy, weird Santa rules, which we've talked about this with Santa Magic comes creepy Santa rules. And it's if you do not, it didn't say kiss, but commit or whatever by the last stroke of midnight on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Then your true love is lost forever.
And be a spinster.
Yeah, you're a spinster. So
it's like in A Wonderful Life, his wife became a spinster.
That was her movie. So yeah, there you go.
The other thing I need to ask both of you is when you go on a first date with a woman, do you make sure that you're volunteering shirtless when the time that you tell her to arrive is? Because
definitely, with suspenders though, with
suspenders. You're classy.
That's why we didn't like him at the end. We were supposed to not like him for those.
I know, but I'm hopeful that honestly I would watch an entire 3 Nicks movie. Yeah. It'd be 3 Men and a Baby, how they had those 3 together, but these 3 D-bags.
I hope they do something. I do hope they do something.
It'd be really funny.
Yeah.
Even if it's a 10-minute short.
The 3 Nicks trilogy.
Yeah.
I think it's an evergreen series that they do year after year now.
Right.
But that's just me.
I don't know. I say watch this one. I loved it.
Agreed. Yeah. This was the one. And then Sunday, November 10th at 8 p.m., we had 'Tis the Season to Be Irish.
My mom said that Ireland is where wishes come true.
Give you a lift to your cottage? May your home always be too small to hold all your friends. Look, that's you.
Her Christmas wish was a wash.
It's got character.
But could it still be home for the holidays?
Is this where a kiss under the mistletoe comes from?
You could be the place that I want to return to over and over again.
'Tis the Season to Be Irish. Part of Countdown to Christmas on Hallmark Channel.
Okay, really going to butcher this name. Directed by Leslie Dimitriadis.
Right.
Are you Irish?
That's not Irish. That sounds very Greek. Yeah.
Oh.
Written by Jodie Bodkin, Samantha Herman, and Michael G. Larkin, and starring Fiona Gubelman and Ian McKen. I said the Ian right. It's spelled like our friend Ian.
Our friend Ian, yeah.
Ireland, guys. Come on. Beautiful.
Listen, I started this movie at 9:10 after rehearsal, and I had no idea what was happening.
Really? I felt like, because I
No.
about you, and I was like, I think you'd pick this up pretty quick.
Because everyone just kept telling her, "Are you signing the papers?" So I thought the two of them were getting a divorce. I thought, and like that, like they were gonna sell that property because they owned it together, but she hadn't been to Ireland in a while because they had separated, but he needed it. So that I thought I was watching a whole nother movie.
Different movie. No, it's another home makeover episode again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She was flipping homes, and he didn't like that she was flipping the home, and then they fell in love, and then you saw the end.
Yeah.
It is definitely worth going back and watching, because when you first see the home, Rose's overlook,
rosaries,
beautiful landscape. What it does overlook, but the house it's got tarps on it. It looks like crap. They do zero repair movie, and then they just show up one day and it is gorgeous, and I was like,
I mean, you could tell. I feel like it was a very nice cottage that they found and covered it in some tarps, and it was
and in fairness, I should say, she does sweep it with a broom once, and it takes care of the outside too. I was like, Santa magic.
Yes,
Santa magic.
Cinderella magic.
Well, very important question. Who was the lady that kept carrying around the ashes? Who was that lady?
She was
town.
Yeah, she was from London, and she came. Her husband Declan. So that was the name at the end. If you didn't get that, Chris, her husband Declan had died, but they always called him Danny, and he was from that town in Ireland.
Everybody had a connection to that town.
Okay.
He wanted
the lady that sang, "Oh, Danny."
Yeah. Oh boy.
This was
that plot line.
It was just the plot line, like Mike said, of this character needs a plot. Here's one. And it's that she's a pop star that was hiding because she just wanted to get away from all the fame and glitz.
That was like a twist in the middle. I was falling asleep, and then I was like, huh?
Yeah.
I watched a very different movie. Yeah. This is actually very fun that I have rehearsals until...
I think that we need you to start explaining what you think the movie is when we do this, because I love that you don't want to watch the whole thing.
Oh my God, that's ridiculous. But also at like 5 minutes left, I was like, how are they going to wrap whatever they're wrapping up?
Yeah.
And then
the same thing over and over again.
Why did
like, don't leave, I want to leave, don't leave, I want to leave.
Yeah. Why did the sheep know how to find her?
That was just a bit.
Yeah, that was Lamb Chop, by the way. And I knew that before you guys knew, because we also watch everything now with subtitles. Not just because we can't understand any accent, but both of us are losing our hearing.
I do too. So did it say lamb chop?
It said lamb chop bleeding, and I was like, oh my God, bleating. Like, yeah. And so I knew their name before they revealed, and then they did. But lamb chop just always followed her around and would escape his or her enclosure.
Yeah.
Lamb chop was probably the best thing in the movie. I like Lamb Chop a
lot. The sheep?
Yeah, the sheep.
It was great. So she had the picture of her mom, and I thought, if you remember, I think it was My Norwegian Christmas, where the girl has again the picture of her mom, and that was from last year, and she wants to get like information and stuff like that, and then we find out, if you didn't see it, big spoiler, that she ends up meeting her birth father, and it was actually a decent movie.
Also, weird note, Kevin, that just played after.
I saw it.
Yeah, it was on. It was on.
So they were like, "Oh, let's do the looking for parent picture."
But her mom and the picture had such little payoff. It was the fairy trees, which we had learned about
because we didn't even get to see her go there.
No.
Yeah, and they didn't change anything. They made it there without that storyline. You know what I mean? So they just added in everything.
Interesting.
Yeah. I thought.
You think they filmed her going to the fairy tree and then it got left on the cutting room floor?
No, she had previously been in it at the fairy tree with him at the
at her cottage. Yeah.
So she went to find her mom where her mom found, because if you own the land, you own the tree. That's the and it's your wish to make in this fairy tree. It's actually a cool idea, and you could have leaned a little more into that and gotten away from some of the other stuff.
If I turned the tree in front of our house in South Philly into a fairy tree, can I do that?
I hope so. It would be awesome.
Yeah, you only get one wish, though. you have to make it a good.
Oh, you only get one?
You only get one for your life. Yeah.
No. Not in South Philly. In South Philly, we have 4 amazing teams. We get 4 wishes. None of them come true. None of them come true.
My wish would be for someone to come trim the tree finally, so it doesn't fall into my house.
Yeah, that'll come true. Make that happen. Speaking of falling into your house, Kristin.
Are we talking about hot dudes?
Wait, do we like this, Kevin?
Kevin, did you like it?
Yeah, you know what? We complain about this a lot when they do films where they go somewhere and they don't take advantage of that. This one really looked like a travel video at times. It was beautiful.
Yeah. It was pretty.
Ireland. Yeah. It's definitely worth watching. I would actually pay more attention to it though, just to see the visuals. Yeah. So don't fold your socks. But in Irish tradition, you can darn your socks during this.
I like, for some reason, the European setting ones get me. It's like if this were just Americans in American City doing the same plot, it would have been boring. But something about the charm, and you're right, they used a lot of the Irish traditions.
Yeah.
The mom was really good. I like the mom a lot.
Mima.
Yeah. I didn't hate it.
I liked all the Celtic music in the background. That gives it a vibe, you know. An Irish vibe. There's me accent. Can you tell?
No. Bad accent.
Let's talk about hot dudes.
Hot dudes, you say?
Welcome to H3O, the Hallmark Hunk holiday objectification, where we're going to talk about some leading men, aka Hallmark hunks, and objectify them. 1 out of 10 heinies. 10 is perfection, which is Tyler Hines.
Mm-hmm.
And 1 is not Tyler Hines.
Who is it?
You keep asking. I'm not going to tell you because I'm going to wait till someone this season if they get a 1. Mike, do you want to be in charge of bringing them up, or do you want me to
I can. No, I can bring them up for you.
So our first gentleman is from the St. Nick's Trivia movie, and this is Brant Daughtry, otherwise known as a country singer. He's not.
I looked it up.
I'll start this party,
and
then we'll go down the Brady Bunch. I surprisingly liked this dude a lot. He was always really chill. He was not who I expected him to be when I was like, oh no, it's like a football coach. Like, are they going to play into that? And he didn't. And I liked it. I also liked this sweater on him.
Yeah.
A lot. That's why I scoured the internet for this sweater. He's a very handsome man. I saw some shirtless photos of him too, but for some reason I was like, I don't know, this sweater is sexier to me than a shirtless photo.
Yeah.
So I like the cut of his jib. I'm giving this dude a 7.8.
Woo!
Wow,
very high.
I know. I couldn't believe it too. I must have been in like a frisky mood on Friday.
Okay, all right. Dole it out to us, Chris. Where are we going? Right down the column?
Oh, yeah.
Our totem pole here. Yeah, I agree. I liked him. I love that he listened to her and like he saw her model set with and he goes, what's with the giants? Because they had the big figures. And she said it was a bit of between my father and I, dead alert. And so he finds a place and takes her to make a model, and then he brings dolls of them basically. Yeah. And I was like, man, you got to respect that, because like it could also be ill received and be like, this was my dad and my thing. You're dead to me.
Right. I was worried that's where she'd get angry.
No, it was real charm. No, she wouldn't get angry until. Wait, what time is it? We're late. Oh my God. Don't hit a deer. But he did keep his chill the whole time. So
he's got the whole time.
Great eyes. And you don't notice them in the film. Like look at this picture. Those are like some sweet baby blues.
I feel like someone may have photoshopped them to bring them out a bit.
Little pop.
A little pop in his headshot. But he does. I think he's got blue eyes. I don't think they're as like.
Okay. Well, pop or no pop, I'm going to go. And she has no pop. We already said that. Dead alert. I'm going to go 7.
Seven. Everything y'all said. I really like this guy. He was super sweet when they went on the date with the telescope too, and she was like, "Oh no, this is so silly." He like genuinely said, "No, like teach me." Like, and I thought that was a beautiful line to just make someone feel special and that they're being heard. I really liked him as well. He's super cute. He looks great in the sweater. 7.1 for me.
Whoa.
Hey now.
Nice work.
Hey
Real.
now.
Yeah.
Now, next up, this movie was confusing because there were 4 dudes.
Yeah.
So I want to objectify the Knicks as like a brand.
Okay.
These 3 as like a brand. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll let Mike, we'll go the other way. Mike, you start and you give them 1 score.
Oh, man. All right. This is tough. I think they all average out to like a 5.8 or you know what I mean? There were moments with all of them where I'm like, I guess I'm rooting for you. But then that changed very quickly. Yeah, 5.8. They're actually perfectly written for this plot. So you wanted to feel like kind of invested, but then not that we're not rooting for the ultimate guy at the end. So,
I agree 100%. When you first start with them, every one of them comes in hot and every one of them like bottoms out quick.
Yeah.
So much so that when they have this fight with their candy canes, all their candy canes go rink, 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 which that brings me to a 5.
Hey now.
Nice and average.
Yeah, it's hard because I love Benjamin Ayres so much, but however, this is the character. And this character, if I heard him talk about saving children one more time, no. So, and also like this fire, if I would have shown up to a date and the dude was sitting there shirtless as Santa, I would leave. And if this dude that just, I don't know, this Christopher Russell does.
I love him. He's becoming
a 5. I'll give him a 5 as well.
That's
high.
But I would say 3 of that is Benjamin Ayres. So.
Oh no. Oh no.
But next up we have
the actual lead.
The actual lead, if you will, of this film. I don't remember him from things we liked. Does anyone remember this gentle soul? Daniel, what is his name? Daniel Lissing?
Yeah, he did one of the It's Time for Us or Me or You or Them to come home for Christmas. One of the early ones.
Okay.
In fact, I think he was a nurse, if I'm not mistaken, and he was taking the woman, or maybe he was a cop. I forget, but she had like amnesia, which is, other than Magic Santa, one of our favorite Christmas amnesia.
Love it. They haven't had one in years.
No, we need one. We need it from falling off a ladder. If you do that, that's a 10. That's a 10. Yeah, the marketing department needs to really get their, Yeah. But yeah, we had him from that. We liked him. I'm fairly
okay. So what do you give this character of Kevin? We'll start with Kevin.
I liked him when we first met him because he let her talk. Like, yes, it was a little bit like creepy cat.
Yeah, whatever.
But I liked that he let her talk herself into a corner, and then he kind of played it cool, and he was immediately a D-bag right after it, and his points went way down for me, and I was like, dude, he definitely earned it back by the end, but I think at most he ended up getting to like maybe a 6.8 for me.
Yeah. Mike, thoughts?
I'm pretty similar. My average 2 weeks ago, I was saying, right, just average dude, doesn't do anything that it was a 6. So I think I'm just giving him like a 5.9, like a little. He was maybe a little more disappointing than an average, but I also think it was the movie's fault because it was too obvious too early that she was just going to end up with him. And he was just kind of like...
Yeah, Mike, in the trailer, dude. Have you watched one of these movies?
I try not to watch. I try to come in, and expect something different, But I really liked the beginning, so it just took a long time for this.
It took a very long time.
Kind of blah.
This particular gentleman doesn't jingle my bells in the right spots.
Yeah.
But I didn't hate his character, but I'm going to give him what I gave the Knicks, a 5.
Okay.
Because honestly,
Cool.
No.
Whatever.
All right, let's go to Ireland.
Let's go to Ireland. This lad is Ian something. We've never seen him before, have we?
I don't know. Ian McKenna, I didn't recognize him from anything else.
I like when we meet the new people because I think this dude's really Irish. So like that's fun, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start because I only saw him for 40 minutes.
Sure.
And I was so confused. But there was one scene where he was wearing a white button down with a black vest, and I was like, I dig it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, the accent. Come on. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And I liked that he has like hair that blows in the Irish wind whenever they were on like a thing. I like the gray in his beard.
A beach.
Yeah.
Or a cliff. A cliff
or beach in Ireland. But I don't know much about this guy because I only saw him for 40 minutes. So I'm going to give him a 6. Anticlimactic.
Yeah, he was really funny. He had good timing. He had a lot of good jokes that they wrote for him. Very Irish, like that dry Irish, very Oscar Wilde sense of humor.
Yes.
I liked him. There was a weird moment, Chris. I don't know if you saw it, and if you did see it and you were confused and you're like, something probably happened before that. I don't know if it did. Where they're sitting on the beach. She had bought a whole bunch of stuff. That was a great line too.
Oh yeah, and she tried to kiss him, and then
he, like does this weird
away. And then she snuggled him.
Yeah. Well, no, he did. He puts his arm around her, like her, teddy bear got lost or something. It was like, it was weird, and I was like, At first, I thought, oh, he's never been with a lady before. This is
he doesn't know.
But I just felt like that was a weird turn for the movie itself, and this character kind of takes the blame for that. So I liked him.
Evan, men get emotional too at times. You know what I mean?
Certainly. And you know what? That'll bump me up, Mike, just based on because
come on,
men get emotional, and they should. So I'm up to, you know what? I'll give him a 6.8 as well.
I'm right in there too. I actually thought he was very genuine and like honest the whole way through, and and again, oftentimes men are like, oh, you can't feel upset. You know what I mean? Or heartbroken, right? He kept saying he was heartbroken and everything. Yeah. I really believed him. He was kind of a jerk up front. You missed this whole thing. He really did trick her into buying this house. Like he lied. He put like old photos up on this site. So I was a little like, oh, all right. But he was trying to test someone's metal, I guess. You know what I mean? But anyway, but then that kind of went away really fast. It didn't come back. I'm glad that didn't come back of her as some tricking. It didn't become about real estate, just about their relationship and being someone who likes their home versus someone who likes to adventure. And I thought their compromise at the end was super sweet. They both they really didn't compromise. They both were like, yes, I'll travel with you because it was a place to come back home. I thought that was really nice. That was my long way of saying a 6.9. 6.9.
There you go.
Yep.
Now, folks, typically that's all we would objectify is the people that were in the movies this weekend. But
so we're done, of course.
No, we're here for another 5 hours. Please bring up the next photo. Yeah. We're going to be talking about this photo for a very long time.
Is that a Will Kemp I see all the way on the end?
Why did Will Kemp not get the shirtless memo? Who did?
No. He was like, guys, I'm going to keep it on.
Unbelievable. So this was taken on this cruise that we weren't invited to.
Okay.
Or didn't get paid to go on.
That's better.
But listen, if you post something like this, we have to talk about it. Okay. If you could have any one of these dudes' abs, whose abs do you want?
Well, you can't see Will Kemp's.
I can only assume there's a 6-pack.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because they're all so stunningly gorgeous, but they're also stunningly different.
Who everyone is. I recognize Will. I recognize Tyler. Do you know everyone in here, Chris?
Yeah. This gorgeous chocolate bar is the guy from the my brain is like losing it because I'm just looking at their bodies. I don't know his name, but he's in the Groomsmen movies with Jonathan Bennett, who is then there. Then we've got Christopher Paloha, and we've got Brandon Penny.
What is Christopher Paloha?
Oh, I like Brandon Penny too. Okay.
Brandon Penny on the end there.
If I could have any of these gentlemen's abs, I would take, you're going to think I'm kidding, but I'm not. I would take Will Kemp's. And the reason is I just want a shirt to fit me like that.
I also was happy with Will Kemp's body, like overall. You could tell that he works out, but and stays in shape, but still likes to drink a beer every once in a while.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
This is lovely.
Yeah.
I don't think we're surprised at all that I would take Tyler Hines' abs. You can throw them on top of me. But I think what's lovely is that these journeys, I think these boys are becoming like the best of friends, because they didn't have places to gather because they're not all in the same thing. So just like Christmas Con brings them together, now they get to go do like fun stuff. They played like bingo and trivia and crazy things all on the cruise. And there's one next week. And Paul Campbell and Andrew Walker better be shirtless next week for us to talk about.
Yeah, they got to match this picture.
Yeah.
Maybe we compare pictures next week.
I'm hoping Paul Campbell also has what I assume Brad Penny's got, a Casio watch, Swatch watch or something. It looks quite good.
Those are in.
Yeah, I love this picture, and we could just leave it up for the rest of the episode if we don't mind. But I hope next week we get, I don't know, just more shirtless dudes.
Well, listen, Mike and I can just not wear shirts.
No! I'll go shirtless.
Black hoodies.
I enjoyed this weekend's movies, but I also I don't know if this is going to be a memorable weekend. Does that make sense?
I think it's going to be varied. I agree.
It's going to be like in the middle.
I was overall kind of bored this weekend.
Yeah.
Even though I enjoyed everything, I wasn't like, oh my God, end this.
Yeah.
I think they'll be forgettable. I agree. I think they're going to be pushed.
Yeah, they're just middle of the roaders.
Yeah.
This year we have to do an episode, or at least bring it up in an episode as we get closer to the end, because we always forget to do our like top 5
rankings.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. I think that Santa Tell Me is going to be up there pretty high for myself and a lot of other people. And maybe it is because of the stunt casting of having a bunch of actors in it. But it was just such a fun and enjoyable. And I kept thinking while we watched it, I wonder, did they, obviously Erin Krakow was there throughout, but like, were people there? Were they not there? Was she jumping between locations? But it was, I really dug it. So of the 3, that was my probably.
I would be curious to ask Benjamin Ayers, which I might just message him and be like, was this, because I don't know, do they have to audition for these movies at this point? I assume not, right?
I bet it was, they picked those 3. Like they did the 3 wise men,
Right. Like this one, how many days on set was he there? Like how was the breakdown of like having this many big actors on a budget to be able to like shoot all the stuff? I'd be curious about do
they all have, like, does Benjamin Ayers have another movie this season?
Yeah, I believe he does.
Yeah, so this was like a fun thing that they all did.
Yeah.
And Chris Russell's had multiple. Like this is his 3rd, right? Because he's in the Groom. Isn't he in the Grooms one?
No.
Oh, he's not. I thought.
No. So this is his 2nd, but like as like a side dude, which is fun that they're doing that.
Side piece, I believe, is how they're built. Yeah.
But you know who's coming up next weekend? The very own Andrew Walker's movie with the smiliest, gorgeous
Ashley Williams. So good, man. I'm very excited for that.
I'm really excited about that one because I hope they just play into the shenanigans, because I love shenanigans.
It looks like from the trailer.
But then the one about the lawyer, and that one looks weird.
Where she has to hire, I think that's the mystery one, though.
Oh, okay. I won't watch it.
Which is a bummer, because I actually thought that one looked kind of possibly, well, whatever. But what movies do you like? You can tell us at remarktheshow@gmail.com. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Tell us whose abs you would like to have between me, Mike, and Kristin.
Yeah. You can only assume.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, if we stand up, you see that we're wearing pajama pants, so we can.
Whoa, too much. You're real too much.
I told you guys I wouldn't stand.
Save that for our late night audience.
But whenever you watch this, you can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Remark the Show. Kristin, what do you got going on?
we got Hallmarkable opening it up Black Friday at 7:00. And tonight's movie that we did during our tech was called The Cheery Cinnamon Town.
Ooh.
And it was delightful.
So did you have 2 rehearsals today? You went from one to the other?
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh my God. Good for you. Michael, what's going on in your world? What's happening at the Rat?
The Rat is doing well down in Dumbo. We're going to be doing our Shakespearean adaptation of Mean Girls this Friday, Meaneth Girls, with the actor that played the original Coach Carr. is a friend of ours that's just doing it as a cameo. So
that's awesome.
And then Way of the Christmas Carol coming up. That we always do the Drunk Text Christmas Carol in December.
Am I doing that? I'll check my email.
You gotta put your availability in. Yeah.
Check my emails.
Yeah.
I do another podcast with my daughter called The Perfect 10. We are going to review A Christmas Story in December as well as Gremlins if we find the time. So check them out.
If you watch Gremlins, just watch Gremlins 2 right after it.
I will show her the Key and Peele sketch right after it instead.
Okay, great.
Which is the best sketch ever.
I love it. Great. We did it. Week 4, baby.
In the books.
In the books.